Sun in the third house. Okay, so I wanted to do a video discussing Sun in the third house and how this placement tends to manifest in people's lives and how it affects their personality and behavior and experiences. Okay, the Sun in astrology is associated with the father, the wants, the ego, and the sense of self. The third house is associated with speaking, writing, learning, certifications, early education, the local environment. Okay, these are all third house things. Okay, so when you combine the two, let's discuss how this tends to manifest. So when you have Sun in the third house, you tend to have a very Gemini-like personality, meaning if you were to read Gemini personality traits, a lot of them would sound like you, meaning you're very funny, witty, you can be very scattered, anxious, and irritable at times, but you see yourself as someone who's very smart as well, which is my second point. You see yourself as a very smart, intellectual person. You love all things involving speaking, writing, and learning. Okay, so you're the type of person you may go on to write a book one day. You just love to learn, you love to read, and you may even go on to have a career that involves speaking in some way at one point. Your siblings have an influence on your ego and sense of self. The third house is associated with siblings, okay? So now the relationship you had with your siblings or don't have with your siblings tends to have an influence on your ego and sense of self. Now, your father may have been seen as more of a sibling than a father, okay? Not only that, your father may have also been seen as Gemini-like, meaning scattered, anxious, irritable, communicative, but also very smart and intellectual, okay? So this placement tends to color the way you see your father. You may have seen him as more of a sibling than a father. You're drawn towards certifications, okay? Meaning you're the type of person you're more likely to lean towards just getting a certification or a trade versus going to some big university, which is a ninth house placement, okay? Early education, meaning kindergarten through 12, shaped your ego and how you see yourself. Okay, so those experiences from early education, K through 12, whether good or bad, tends to have a strong influence on the way that you see yourself, when you grow up, and still sticks with you even when you become an adult. Okay, so this is the best way for me to describe Sun in the third house people. You have a Gemini-like personality. You see yourself as smart and intellectual. You love all things involving speaking, writing, and learning. Your siblings have an influence on your ego and sense of self. Your father may have been seen as more of a sibling than a father. Also, not only that, your father may have been drawn more towards certifications or a trade versus going to some university. Early education shaped your ego and the way you see yourself. Okay, so this is the best way for me to describe Sun in the third house, people. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree if you have this placement. All right. Thank you for watching.